and welcome back to the Reapers. So today is all about bombing. Today we're going to be bombing with the mighty Mark 82 slick bombs. We're going to show off the different ways of doing it. We can do CCIP drops, CCRP drops, and I think, is it manual bombing?
There is a manual mode, yes.
Right, so we're going to do CCIP first because it's just one I've done before and so it makes it easy. So we're going to want to go and set that up. So I'm going to go and select Mark 82 on my stores page. I'm going to go in air to ground mode, master arm on. Right, so now if we look down at the program, before you drop these bombs you have to have a program set up for them, otherwise they won't explode. All this information here is a program and we've got to fill this program out. Mode is currently on CCIP as standard, so that's fine, we don't need to change that. M fuse is off, we do need to change that M fuse, click here. And we want, this is the type of fusing, it could be nose, tail or nose and tail. We're going to do nose. Then the E fuse, we need to set up, so click E fuse, instant, delay, delay 2, VT, or off, we're going to do instant. Drag FF is already okay. Next we're going to set the quantity and multiple. We're going to do this using the UFC, so let's switch it over to the UFC by clicking UFC. This is our UFC here. We're going to click quantity. I want to drop 2 bombs per release. Enter. Multiple.
No, you want to drop 2 drops total.
Roger. 2 drops total. Multiple, we're going to, is already set up as 1, so that's fine. And interval, we're going to set up as 100 feet. So, interval, 100, enter. So our program is now set. We've got the set as shown, quantity 2, multiple 1, interval 100 feet. I'm going to find a target and we're going to drop the bomb, we're going to use the weapon release button, so let's show you where that is. Stand by. Weapon release button there and set that up. We're now going to find a target, so just give me a second to find a target.
To explain, Cap's weapon program is currently set up so that it will drop 1 bomb and then 100 feet later it will drop another one.
Okay, I'm going to turn in, I'm going to just target something around here, it doesn't really matter. Now it's important to show that on the HUD there's a plumb line, that's my CCIP plumb line. Because we've selected CCIP mode, that is our line. What we're going to want to do is drive our target along that line, so stand by. We are then going to see when we get close to the target essentially a drop queue line is going to appear, which will be a cross. I'll show you that when it appears. And what we're going to want to do is kind of dive down on our target between 10 and 20 degrees, I find works. As for speed, I guess anything works, but above 300 knots I've always used.
Yes, you'll notice that before you see the bomb pepper cross with CCIP, as your CCIP gets closer to being on the HUD, a horizontal line will drop further and further down the CCIP bomb line.
That's that one there. Roger that. So we're going in, we're going to about 15 to 20 degrees. Try and keep that tower there in our middle, wait for the cross to come, and then when that meets the target, I'm going to keep my finger on the weapon release if I get a chance, please, and drop. I think that's it. Bombs away. There's my 2 bombs, and perfect hit.
Yeah, that was about 100 feet, but you couldn't really see it because one of the bombs struck the tower.
Roger that. So, yep, so damn accurate. Really, really accurate. Really pleased with the CCIP system. That's that. You can play around with these settings here, the program settings, the delays, the multiples, quantity, spacing to your heart's desire to see what, depending on what you want to bomb. If it's a big convoy, you want to go in and drop maybe 8 bombs at, I don't know, 50 feet interval, but that's up to you. Right, what do you want to do next, Sherman? Do you want to do the manual? Because that should be quick, shouldn't it?
Yes, I'm running out of time, so just go to mode, select manual.
Stand by. Mode, manual. Roger.
Right. Now, all that happens is if you click on your UF, you'll notice that there's a little pipper there, but it's not really aimed properly, and currently that pipper has a deviation of 0 mils.
Roger.
Open up your UFC page, click the RTCL button. This will set up the number of mils on the reticle. So, for example, I've set mine up with my tried and tested 18 mils.
Roger.
For the F5E.
Yeah, is this depression we're talking about here?
Yes, mils of depression, just like in the F5's manual gun sight.
So I put reticle, I've entered 18 degrees of depression. Yep, that's fine. As I see, it's moved down the HUD slightly. Right.
Yes, everything else works exactly the same, apart from the fact that the pipper is now manually aimed, which means you need to decide when you're in the right position to release the bomb.
Well, this will be crap, but let's go for a go. I'm just going to bomb with these houses to save time.
And picture this way, you're going to be about as accurate as you would be with an F5.
Right, I've decided I want to bomb one of these houses down here. How about that monkey there? Let's see how accurate Cap is when he wants to be. Ready?
Bombs out. And my bombs are about 300 to 400 feet short.
Roger, I'm not going to make that error. And pickle! Long by 150 feet. Okay, so that's that.
Yes.
I don't know why we'd use that, but
Emergencies.
if you want to use that, that's there. Right, we're going to do now CCRP, which is Sherman's favourite. So,
Right, so it's worth noting, in the Hornet, it is not referred to as CCRP, it is referred to as auto. Now, interestingly enough, the auto mode uses the TDC slew, but you need to activate it first. So, in order to activate it, set the mode to auto, then press your sensor control forward switch. A couple of things should appear. On your flight path marker, you should see a little dot in the center, followed by what looks like a dotted bomb fall line.
Right, so I'm pressing that. Right, so what's happened when I press sensor control switch forward up? In fact, let me quickly show the people at home what we're pressing, because it's going to be really confusing for them. To do that, I press sensor control switch forward there, and there's left and right and aft as well you'll need as well, and possibly depress. Okay, so I've got a dotted line and a, like a, I don't know, a circle-y thing at the bottom.
You have, it kind of looks like a CCIP pipper at this point, but it is not. You'll notice that as you get down to about 7 to 8 degrees of downward depression, that pipper will align with the flight path marker and then stick to it. So what you want to do is, once you've got your flight path marker and your pipper aligned together, you want to put them over a target button and then press your TDC depress button, aka the button you use to do radar locking in the air-to-air radar.
Roger.
At this point, you will designate a target point on the ground using ground radar. This point can be slewed with the TDC keys, but basically it's your impact point as calculated. And you basically, at this point, we want to turn around just so I can demonstrate the CCRP symbology to you.
Once I've locked the ground target, can I then fly around and it will keep store that target?
Yes, it's locked in your GPSS INS system as the target waypoint.
Wonderful. Right, I'm about to do it. Stand by. Let me just choose a target. So I like the look of that target there. I'm going to lock it there. You see, I've locked it on. Now I'm going to fly around while Sherman explains what we're going to do next.
So, now just turn away from materials in time. What's going to happen is it's going to be a fairly standard CCRP bomb fall line. You're going to fly towards it. You're going to see the release coming up. Sorry, up or down. Also, you'll note if you look up on your heading tape, you'll see the direction of the target waypoint represented as a diamond.
Roger. Okay, am I ready to turn in?
Yeah, turn in to get the bomb fall line on your HUD and line it up with your flight path marker.
Roger.
Today you'll note that the bomb line, the pepper for the target on the ground, and the flight path marker line up perfectly because there's no wind.
Yeah, roger that. Right, I'm just...
As you approach the target, your target indicator will be showing a decreasing number as you get closer. It also indicates the angle of the target when it's out of your line of sight. Right. As you get close to the release point, you'll see a bomb fall line appear above the flight path marker. Press and hold the release button until it merges with the flight path marker, at which point the bomb will automatically release itself in the program you have selected.
Roger, I see the range there. That is the range, 4.8 miles. Okay, off we go. So we're going to fly at any altitude, but we want to basically get this line, the CCRP line, lined up with our vector here. We've also got time to release there, 27 seconds. At what point do we start holding the release button?
Ideally, you want to do it the moment you see the release cue appearing above the flight path marker, which will be represented as a straight line going horizontally across the HUD, dropping down towards the flight path marker.
Understood. So we can zoom in there so we can get a real good look at it. We're nearly there. There it is. And hold the weapon release button, and it's going to... I think that was the drop. It's got time till impact there of 12 seconds. Let's go and watch them. Let's see how accurate this was. Oh, I got him! I got him. I was about 20 feet off. Amazing. So we've done that attack, but let's say that we wanted then to adjust that position slightly. Well, the plane has stored that position in memory. We're going to go around and adjust the position of that target. And there it is. You can see it there. Bosh. So you can see there is the target again that we've got locked up. So we want to slew it. We're going to use to slew it just controls these commands: throttle designated, control left, right, up and down. So these are the ones that at the moment we use to control the target designator in the radar B scope there, down there. Before we can do that, you see we've lost this dot out of the middle of our path marker. We need to regain that dot again to be able to move it. So to do that, we're going to press sensor select switch forward. So let's do that. And it doesn't work. Fuck. Okay.
Have you selected air to ground?
Yeah. So what have I done wrong? Right. I've got it. So what I had to do was this sensor select aft, and then it went away, and then sensor select forward, and it came back. So
the only reason it would do that is if your sensor select was set to something else at the moment, and you then deselected whatever that was. Maybe it was your radar, and then selected the HUD instead.
Roger that. Right, so that was a bit more difficult than I thought. So it turns out I had to press sensor select aft first, and then sensor select forward. We think it's because I had something else selected as a center of interest, probably the B scope. Right, so I've done sensor select aft, I've done sensor select forward again. I've now got my dot in my path marker. I now have control of
the impact point.
Yeah, the impact point. So I'm going to go around and try moving it. Standby. Right, so standby. Yes, there we go. Right, got it now. So it's the problem I had before is I didn't have the dot in the middle of the path marker. I now do. I got that by going sensor select aft and then forward. Now I can indeed slew this point here round with the commands that we just spoke about slightly earlier. So watch as I can move it around. Whee! And I can put that wherever the hell I want. So if I want to put it in that village over there, I can put it there, or I can put it over there. So that's pretty cool. So that's it moving around the target, and then we can go ahead and CCRP bomb that to our new target. All I can think of is, do we know how to deselect that target completely? So I've got that geographical target locked in.
Sensor switch, no, wait, to deselect the sensor would be sensor switch aft. To deselect the target, make sure you have the HUD enabled as the selected sensor, and then press the nose wheel steering button to reset the targeting waypoint.
Roger that. So to make sure that this is the selected sensor, the HUD, we can tell that because we've got that dot in the middle there. That's what we were talking about. And nose wheel steering button. So let's go and find that. It is, there we go. undesignate / nose wheel steering switch. That's the one you'll want.
Yes, so that is specifically the undesignate function.
Let's go and try that. Ba-ba! And that resets us all the way back to the beginning of our auto or our CCRP, where we've got the dotted line in this, and this is where we can go in and select our target from scratch. Right, so we've shown with the CCRP essentially locking onto a target, if that's the right word, or placing a target point, slewing that target point around, changing the sensor by accident, but changing the sensor of that we're using, and deselecting completely and going back to the beginning. Is there anything else, Sherman, you can think of adding to the auto mode or the CCRP mode?
Not at this time. I know Wags has just released a video on Facebook regarding using the auto to initially find the target and then switching to CCIP. However, I do not quite have the information on how to perform that particular procedure yet.
Roger that.
So we will come back to that when we have the correct information.
Right, so we've got those basic 3 modes down. I hope that helps. Other than that, we will see you later.